The West Philippine Sea, a vital waterway for trade and rich in resources, has once again become a flashpoint of international tension. Recent reports reveal dangerous maneuvers by Chinese forces, including helicopter harassment and other provocations. In response, the United States and the Philippines have taken swift action, deploying warships to the area. But what does this escalation mean for the region and the world? Join us as we unravel this unfolding maritime showdown. The West Philippine Sea, part of the South China Sea, is a contested maritime zone where several nations lay overlapping claims. Central to this dispute is China's expansive Nine-Line claim, which has been rejected by international courts but remains a cornerstone of Beijing's maritime strategy. Tensions reached a boiling point this week as Chinese forces engaged in a series of provocative actions. Reports indicate that a Chinese helicopter flew dangerously close to a Philippine vessel, an act deemed as harassment by military officials. Simultaneously, Chinese ships executed aggressive maneuvers near the contested areas, raising alarms in Manila and Washington. The China Coast Guard conducted dangerous maneuvers against Philippine Coast Guard vessels in the West Philippine Sea twice on Saturday night. The incidents occurred before 8 p.m. and past 10 p.m. on November 30 in the vicinity of Escoda Shoal, as the PCG vessels BRP Cape Engano and BRP Melchora Aquino were on their way to Rosul Reef to assist Filipino fishermen who were earlier harassed by CCG. The fishermen were then on their way to Rosul Reef, Iroquois Reef, in the West Philippine Sea to fish. Rosul Reef lies within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. According to PCG spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea Commodore J. Tariela, a Chinese helicopter hovered near the Filipino fishermen while they were out fishing. It hovered very low, just about 15 feet above, and it was doing this towards our Filipino fishermen. We believe this might be a form of harassment aimed at driving our fishermen away, he said. A video of this encounter was sent to the PCG, which then responded immediately to support the fishermen, especially amid the rough seas and heavy rain. Accompanied by GMA Integrated News and other Philippine media, the PCG then dispatched the BRP Cape Engano to reach the fishermen at Rosul Reef. Another sizable PCG vessel, the BRP Melchora Aquino, followed close behind. PCG deploys vessels after alleged China helicopter harassment. The Philippine Coast Guard has deployed 2 of its vessels to ensure the safety and security of Filipino fishermen within Rosul Reef in the West Philippine Sea after receiving evidence of alleged harassment by a People's Liberation Army Navy helicopter. Commodore J. Tariela, the PCG spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, said a video taken last November 28th was sent to them by those on board a Filipino fishing boat who witnessed the harassment. On November 28th, the Philippine Coast Guard received video footage and photographs from a fishing boat that returned to Quezon, Palawan, which captured the harassment of Filipino fishing vessels by a PLA Navy helicopter in Rosul Reef, Tariela said in a statement on Monday. In response to this situation, the PCG Commandant, Admiral Ronnie Gil Gavon, has ordered the deployment of vessels 9702 and 4411 to ensure the safety and security of Filipino fishermen exercising their right to fish freely in Rosul Reef, he added. Tariela pointed out that PCG's move to deploy the 2 vessels aims to provide evidence of the active presence of Filipino fishermen in the West Philippine Sea. He added that Filipino fishing vessels noted an increase in WPS despite the continuous harassment from the Chinese Coast Guard. Tariela also reiterated PCG's commitment to safeguarding the rights of fishermen, and that it stands in support of the President's commitment to uphold the country's sovereignty rights, and maritime jurisdiction in the West Philippine Sea. The PCG said that on November 28th, the agency also received video footage and photographs showing the supposed harassment of Filipino fishing vessels by a People's Liberation Army, PLA, Navy helicopter of China in Rasul Reef. PCG Commandant Admiral Ronnie Gil Gavan ordered the deployment of vessels 9702 and 4411 to ensure the safety and security of Filipino fishers in the area. This deployment also aims to provide evidence of the active presence of Filipino fishermen in the West Philippine Sea. PCG spokesperson for WPS Commodore J. Tariela said in a statement. Despite the potential harassment from the Chinese Coast Guard, their confidence in fishing in the WPS has significantly increased due to the firm stance and commitment of the President not to surrender a square inch of our territory to any foreign power, he added. According to Tariela, the PCG is firm to safeguarding the rights of Filipino fishermen and to supporting President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s commitment to uphold the country's sovereignty rights, and maritime jurisdiction in the WPS. As tensions simmer, the question remains: what's next? Will diplomacy prevail, or are we inching closer to a larger conflict? The Philippines and the United States have reiterated their commitment to peaceful solutions, but actions on the ground tell a different story. For now, the West Philippine Sea remains a symbol of resistance, sovereignty, and the delicate balance of power in the region. Thank you for joining us in this deep dive into the escalating tensions in the West Philippine Sea. The stakes are high and the developments are fast-moving. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on this critical issue. What are your thoughts on the latest deployments? Do you think peace can be achieved, or is conflict inevitable? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, stay informed and stay safe.